I like to collect mold off of my old moldy bread and put it in a baggie that I keep in my pocket, so whenever I'm out and about at an overpriced restaurant getting an overpriced $15 acai bowl, I can order one and then eat the whole thing, and then once I'm done, I take out my mold babies and pop one in so I can take it to the register and go full Karen mode and show them the mold, and then boom, baby! Refund. I've done this in the past with dead flies at Olive Garden, but I like having bread in my pocket instead of dead decaying flies. Anyways, I wanted to give my mom some makeup, so I tried it at Sephora by putting some mold in the makeup, and then I brought the sample to the manager, and I got a free one. And then I sanitized my hands to get the mold off, of course. Anyways, after Sephora, I really wanted some tortilla chips, so I grabbed a bag, opened it up, popped some mold in, and then boom! I took it to the cashier, and I got a refund, baby. And then when I got home, I took a bite and forgot to take the mold out! Boom, baby, mold poisoning.
So I've always wondered, what would happen if you put a Tide Pod in your dishwasher instead of like the dish soap pod thing? Like, would it explode or like what would happen? So today I decided to sacrifice my Android phone to record it. And I turned the flash on and put it in my dishwasher. And then once it was recording inside there, I closed it up and started the dishwasher on the low cycle. But after a few minutes, it started shaking a lot. And I noticed that there was water leaking and dripping out the bottom. So I panicked and I canceled it and I opened it up and I took the phone out and somehow it survived and was still working. So I played the video to see what happened and... Every time you're not running, Ed Sheeran gets closer. I was watching my comfort movie Pitch Perfect on HBO Max for the 7th time today because it's the only thing that makes me feel alive. But then as I was watching it, I got the idea that since I'm a talentless blob of bones and skin, I should learn how to play the cups. So I grabbed a bunch of wine glasses to spice it up and I invented the glass song, and I spent days studying Pitch Perfect on HBO Max perfecting my talent so that I could get so good so I could perform for the world to see. So I started to print out flyers, and then I went to the first stop of my glass song world tour in Paris. And when I got there, I stuck flyers everywhere to really get the word out about my show. But then as I was doing my sound checks on the day of my performance, I got a little too carried away and... So anyways, I'm just gonna stick to watching Pitch Perfect on HBO Max, and you should too. I opened my window for the first time in weeks today to collect a bunch of my fly friends. But they were being very lazy, so I decided to harvest with all my friends. But they aren't really fun. Except for you, Bob. And I was wishing I had a fun skater group to hang out with. So I decided to grab my passport. Not that passport, but my Tinder passport. It lets me see and match profiles from across the world for free. And now I have a whole group of friends, and I don't need these bozos anymore. Now the only thing I need is a good skater fit. I went to Walmart today to buy some Ed Sheeran merch, aka cabbage, because that's probably what he smells like. But when I grabbed my cabbage and went to go pay, I didn't realize I was in the makeup section trying to pay for a cabbage, and they didn't know how to ring up my cabbage by any freaking ways. The cashier girlie dropped my cabbage, and I had to pick it up off the ground, and it was kind of musty looking. But regardless, I left the store and walked home with it, and I was about to start munching on it when it slipped out of my hands and dropped again, and my little cabbage baby started rolling down the hill, and I eventually caught up to it, and it looked beat up. But I picked it up and took a crunchy cabbage bite and decided it would be a good movie snack. So I brought my cabbage to the movie theater, and it was all fun until I remembered I was watching The Quiet Place. And you know what wasn't a quiet place? My insides after eating Walmart cabbage off the ground. It was brewing like kombucha mixed with dynamite in my stomach, and I had to leave and go home because it was dead silent in the theater and everyone heard my stomach rumbling up. This is me buying a live crab from the store and freeing it into the ocean. The guy at the store was like, you know how to cook this, right? And I was like, oh, we are not cooking Mr. Krabs. As I was walking, some dude yelled at me and I got scared. And then this guy was walking around with an iguana. I'm like, it's my day to have an exotic pet, buddy. Look at his cute little mouth moving. Aww. I took him to the Santa Monica Pier before I freed him, and that's when I saw this guy literally kick a pigeon. I hate it here. Now, crabs can live 24 hours outside of water, but I thought, let's just free him already. Then some cops were staring at me, and I got scared. I picked him up, and I ran to the beach, and I laid him down gently on the sand. But he was barely moving, so I ran into the waves to try and get him in deeper so he could swim or something. But he took a bit of a tumble. So it wasn't looking good for Mr. Krabs, and I started crying. But then he started moving again, and I thought, it's now or never. I scooped Mr. Krabs up, and I ran over to that water, and I dropped him in that water ever so gently. Oh, crap, we are out of time. If you want to see the rest of the video, the link is in my bio. Today, I'm surprising my mom with cooked snails for dinner. But these aren't normal snails. These are from the dollar store. So I had all the ingredients to make it into a pasta dish. So I opened up the can of snails, and... It got in my eye! I got snail juice in my eye. So those are my nasty, smelly snails, and I put them in a bowl when I started on the pasta. We got noodles,
tarragon and pasta sauce, baby. I boiled some water and spilled half the pasta while it went in. And then it started boiling over and I was panicking. But then I was draining it and 3 noodles were getting stuck and I was getting mad. Next, we were mincing garlic for the escargot and it looked like little mini garlic noodles, love. Then I put it all together with the snails, garlic, blue cheese, tarragon, and threw her in the oven. I felt like Remy from Ratatouille, baby. Minus being the chef, I just felt like the rat. Then my mom got home. It's almost dinner time.
Smells good.
Guess what it is?
It smells like some sort of garlicky wine sauce.
Okay, but there's something else added. The link is in the bio if you want to see or get surprised with snails. This right here is my birth certificate. Yup, I left my birth certificate in my pocket and it went through the washing machine. I found it while doing laundry and it was shriveled up like a little pecan. So the first thing I did besides completely panic was I tried putting it in the oven to get the water out. But then my whole house filled with smoke and now it's a burnt little turd nugget. Now everyone loses things. Things happen. I've washed my passport before. I've lost my wallet. I've microwaved my own credit card to see if it would turn into a potato chip. It did. My grandpa lost me in a parking lot when I was 10 and a strange man tried to abduct me and sell me for 2 goats on the black market in Zimbabwe. It's whatever. But what do you do when you literally destroy your birth certificate? Am I supposed to crawl right back into the womb and pop out and be like, wow, wow, give me a birth certificate now? If you Google how to get another birth certificate, it just says you were the world's biggest idiot. So I've decided I have to make a new identity. I try to think of it less as illegally photoshopping a birth certificate and more like creating a new sim. I printed it off and I'm excited to share that I am now Aria Grande. I think it looks super professional and no one will think that it's fake.
Last night I went to Chuck E. Cheese to lie and say it's my birthday to get free pizza. And it worked, baby! But the place was terrifying and the food was even scarier. And after a few bites, I started feeling sick like I had worms in my stomach. So I got up and I stumbled out of the restaurant and I went home. Then the next day I scheduled an emergency Zoom doctor's visit and he told me that I'm lactose intolerant. And I was like, what the hell? I don't lactose, I got all 10, baby! But then he told me to put my feet away and I was like, you're right, you should be paying me for this, not the other way around, buddy. And then he started telling me you can't eat pizza anymore. But his video started to cut out, but it's okay, because I know what lactose intolerance is. I can't have bread anymore! So I got rid of all my bread and dumped all of that fart food right in the trash. And then I grabbed some milk and chugged nothing but pure milk for a few days. And you know what? It was really good for a bit until I started feeling a storm brewing 10 times stronger than what Chuck E. Cheese did to me. So I immediately ran to the bathroom and... So apparently lactose intolerance is the milk one, but at least I don't lactose, baby! I was enjoying some banana on the cob and scrolling through TikTok when I saw someone playing this Mario Kart in real life game. So I took my friend's credit card and ordered it. But when it came in the mail and I actually got to open it up and play it, the game was about as fun as listening to Ed Sheeran out of your own free will. So not fun at all! But you know what? It was okay, because I bought it for the only purpose of seeing if I could take it through a drive-thru and ordering something. So I strapped my credit card to it and a walkie-talkie so that I can order through the microphone. And I taped it to Luigi really good and then drove all the way over to Popeyes. And it was time to release Luigi and see if I could successfully order a fry. I set everything up and then just like that, the little Italian was off. But as he drove up to the microphone, I didn't think they could see him, so at first I did some donuts to get their attention. And then as I was spinning him around, they were like... And I was about to tell them my order when I saw there was a car coming into the drive-thru. I panicked and grabbed my Switch to try and drive away, but it said it was disconnected, so I ran over to the drive-thru and our favorite plumber Luigi was killed by a Mitsubishi. Anyways, the funeral is on Monday. Please comment your condolences if you would like to attend. Today, I hiked up to the Hollywood sign, but there was a fence blocking access to it, so I committed a little bit of a crime, and I managed to get through, and I changed the sign to Holly Boob by covering the W with a B for boob. Anyways, I was walking down, and I saw helicopters flying overhead, and I was getting kind of nervous, so I ran into the bushes, and I hid from them, because apparently I was on government property, or whatever that means. Anyways, I got an emergency alert on my phone, and when I checked, it said that there was a $2 million bounty for a 6-foot man in green, so I realized I'll have to live off the grid forever in these bushes, with my only food being Lady Gaga Oreos that I brought as a snack. Anyways, I managed to sneak away to a swamp, but I heard the choppers getting closer. But that's when I looked in the distance and saw none other than a 6-foot man in green in the swamp. I had to act fast, so I grabbed my phone and I dialed 911 and I ratted on Shrek. Anyways, Shrek was arrested and charged with 8 felonies and I got a $2 million reward. So now I'm rich and I bought a mansion. Thanks, Shrek. Today I made a fake plane ticket with my DIY skills so I could go to the Tokyo Olympics, because I think I'm really good at gymnastics. But the problem is Japan is only letting actual Olympic athletes go there because of COVID, so I finessed the system by buying a random plane ticket to Alabama so I could get into the airport. So once I got to the airport, I found the flight that was headed to Tokyo, and then I walked over to the gate to sit down, and I crossed off Alabama on my ticket, and then I used it while they were boarding, and I managed to board the flight to Tokyo. And after I took my seat, I was just sitting there realizing I'm really going to Japan, huh? And then we took off, and I was enjoying the flight,
flight until I looked at the safety manual and saw that I was on one of those malfunctioning Boeing 737 MAX planes. You know, the ones that decide they want to be a car while in midair. And that's when I started feeling really bad turbulence. And then I remembered my phone wasn't on airplane mode. And then that's when it got really bad because the plane started falling apart. And all of a sudden the oxygen mask came down and I just accepted that the last song I'll have ever listened to in my life was Ed Sheeran. Anyways, the ground was getting closer and closer. Oh, I actually just fell asleep. Anyways, now I'm in Tokyo. Today I accidentally burned out my house because I was boiling Listerine and Red Bull to make delicious tea when I saw a wasp had waltzed into my house. And I'm extremely allergic, so I grabbed a container to try and capture him so I could send him back to hell. And I got him, but then I realized if I try and get the lid on, he's gonna fly out and sting me, and then I will end up in hell and he will haunt me forever. So I dropped it and I ran and grabbed a piece of paper and then I put it back on and slid it under. And I actually managed to pull out the paper and I had successfully abducted him. So I put him on a plate and microwaved him until he lit up. Just kidding. I realized I'll definitely go to hell if I do that, so I let him outside and carefully put him down and released the hatches and he kicked it away. But then he got up and chased me inside and I closed the door and I thought I was safe. And oh, I forgot to turn the stove burner off and... I was enjoying some olives and yogurt when a piece of paper slipped through my mail slot. And when I went to go check it, a huge box flew through the slot and hit me in the head. That's when I remembered I ordered this game called Incoherent from Amazon at like 2 a.m. But nevertheless, I was so excited to play it. But I realized I don't have any friends around me to play with. So I decided to call some of my besties instead. I dialed the number and I was like, hey bestie, and they said, this is
Taco Bell?
So I was like, okay, first round, neck key Minaj.
Please don't call this number again.
And I said, no silly, it's Nicki Minaj. What about Pressed Feet Tim?
Yeah, we're taking your phone number to the police.
And I was like, no, it's breastfeeding, duh. Oh, the police are really coming home. So today was April Fool's, and I got a doorbell notification, which I thought was strange because I'm not expecting any packages. And when I checked it, I saw a box sitting outside my house. I was like, what the heck is a spaghetti? That sounds like the opposite of a... You know what I'm talking about. Anyways, I picked it up and brought it inside and realized it makes vegetable pasta. And I was so excited, so I opened it up, but... there was no spaghetti. There was just my hair. And I started panicking because I was like, how did they get my human hair? And that's when I realized that a month ago, I cut my own hair and put it online as a real Michael Jackson wig and sold it to someone for $5,000. But they probably got my address from the return address on the package. Anyways, I looked in the hair and found a note saying I need to lock my door because... I was making sushi with raw chicken instead of raw fish, but I accidentally dropped it on the floor. And when I bent over to pick it up, I saw my legs and wondered if I could wax them so they would feel like 2 slippery hot dogs. So I canceled my chicken sushi, and once I was done cleaning it all up, I went to my garage to find a bottle of Gorilla Glue to wax my legs. But here's the big old catch. I can't make a single noise waxing my legs, because if I wake up my dog, she will literally pee herself in the beanbag chair. So with that in mind, I grabbed some plastic wrap and put the glue on it and made a little waxing strip. Then I knelt down and put the strip on slowly, and at first I was like, this isn't too bad. It just kind of feels kind of numb, and then it started burning, and I realized I had to do it now, so I ripped it off, and it didn't get the wax off! I panicked and I tried to wipe it off, but it just shredded the paper towel and got even stickier. And also my dog woke up and peed herself. But at least the sushi was kind of fire. Today, I'm giving $10,000 to the employees at my local Taco Bell. I pulled up to the window and said, hi, could I get a bean burrito, please? When I pulled up to the window, they gave me the burrito and I gave them $2. What do I look like, Mr. Beast? Plus this box has $30 in it max, just some Minecraft plush toys and a card if I ever went missing as a child. But then as I was eating my Taco Bell burrito, I started feeling bad. Maybe the Taco Bell employees have little Taco Bell babies at home that need little Taco Bell diapers or they'll shed their little Taco Bell tears. And I thought, I may not have $10,000, but I can show them I appreciate that. I went home, grabbed some markers, and decided to write a little card telling them how much I appreciate them on being on the front lines of this pandemic and everything. I also thought to add a little something else, since this is already a TikTok, for every 100K likes this video gets, I'll add $10 to the card, up to $100, because I really do not be Mr. Beast. I finished the card with some drawings of tacos, because I love tacos. And tonight, I'll head over to Taco Bell and drop it off. I'll see you in part 2 tomorrow. Today I'm giving $100 and a love letter to random Taco Bell employees. But wait, why? Yesterday as I was eating my yummalicious burrito, I thought these employees deserve recognition for creating the beautiful creation that is this burrito. So I drove home, pulled out some markers, and decided to write a letter of appreciation to them. I basically told them I love them and I would die for them in an instant. And then I signed my name and put some hearts and tacos on it because I love tacos. I folded the letter and got in the car and headed over to the bank. I took out $100 as a little extra thank you for the card, and then I got nervous. But then I finally pulled up to Taco Bell.
What can I get for you?
Hi there, could I just get one bean burrito, please?
Anything else?
No, that's it.
I'll see you window. 260.
Hi. So I just wanted to give y'all a tip, because I know it's like I just want to give y'all a tip because I know it's like really crazy, like having to deal with Corona and everything.
We're out of time on TikTok, but the link to their reaction is in my bio. I'm a Canadian, and this is my Canadian passport, and this is my Canadian passport picture. And for some reason, I'm in the freaking United States during the season finale of America. Because I'm stupid, and I just really wanted some good American fast food. Anyways, I was trying to escape before it becomes the newest Purge movie. So I packed up my JoJo Siwa poster, my Rainy Rodriguez shrine, and my favorite toilet seat, and I left my room for the very last time, and walked over to the bus station to go back to Canada. And as I was sitting on that bus, I remembered I forgot my passport on my desk while filming this TikTok. So I freaked out, and I got off the bus, and I ran back to my place faster than Zoe Laverne is running from the federal authorities. And once I grabbed it, I then called an Uber back to Canada, and it was $4,000, but I booked it since I missed the bus. Anyways, the Uber arrived, so I went downstairs, and I got in, and the guy was chill until he turned to me and said, "Is it just you?" And I said, "Why?" And he said,
I ain't never seen two pretty best friends.
So people used to say I look a lot like Noah Centineo, but then he grew a beard and bleached it, and now if you ever say I look like him, I will cry. But then I thought, I have a prime opportunity to impersonate him. Now, I can't grow a blonde beard in 10 seconds, but I know someone that has what I need. I grabbed my dog Kobe and cut off a little bit of her hair and taped it to my cheeks. It felt a little bit uncomfy because she has fleas and they got mad and started biting me, but whatever. I looked in the mirror and thought, oh my god, I'm Noah Centineo. Now I just need to post from his Instagram account and tell people to send me $3 million so I can buy 3 million refrigerators and leave them open to stop climate change. I was logging into his account, but I didn't know his password. First I tried 1, 2, 3, 4, and what the, it worked! Just as I was about to make the post, I got a call from the FBI. They said, "You've been caught hacking. We're gonna drop a nuke on your house." I screamed, "Ah!" And I grabbed everything I love and got in my car and drove as fast as I could. But as I was driving, I was like, wow, these clouds are so beautiful. It looks so peaceful out. Oh, I'm about to drive off the road. I woke up this morning after having a nightmare where zombie Shawn Mendes and zombie Camila Caboo were trying to eat me. I woke up terrified and reached for my water bottle full of Red Bull, but when I looked at my hand, there was like some spot that I'd never seen before. I quickly searched to see what it was, and it said that it was cancer, but like, I'm a Virgo, so that made no sense. Anyways, I was still a little bit spooked, so I sent a picture of it to my doctor, and then I carried on with my day, which was watching 3 seasons of one show and then playing 47 games of Fortnite until 6 a.m. But the next morning I woke up and it was like itchy and bubbling, and I was like, okay, this is a demon. And just then I got a text from my doctor, and he was like, "Did you mean to send me a Roblox meme?" And I was like, oopsie. So I sent him the actual picture and went back to bed. But when I woke up, there was like 30 more, and I was like, ah, and I started crying, and they were on my face too, and my doctor texted me that they were a flesh-eating insect, and I cried some more, until one fell in my mouth. And it had a little crunch, and honestly, it kind of tasted like bacon. So like, I ate a few more, and next thing you know, I'm spooning these bugs in my mouth like it's Lucky Charms cereal. I was really bored, so I tried to buy the most expensive thing on Gucci's website for funsies, but that's when I remembered, Ben, you can't afford Taco Bell. So I was typing random numbers, hoping one was an actual credit card number, and nothing was working. I was like, well, there goes my wool alpaca cardigan. Finally, I tried 69696969. Expiration date, April 20th, aka 420, and security code 666. And I hit enter. I was like, oh, well, that was fun. So I closed my laptop, but then I got an email saying my order had shipped. And then suddenly, I heard a knock at the door, and I was like, I didn't know what I just did, so I checked my doorbell cam, and there was a stranger there. Then I heard the door open, and then there were footsteps coming towards me, and then falling. And then the intruder got up and said, "This is the FBI. We've got you." And I was like, "You've got me? You think you've been watching me? For the past month, I've had my FBI agent's laptop bugged. Every time he logs in to watch me, I've been watching him. In fact, I ordered this exact item knowing it would bring him here." He ran back to his HQ to open up his laptop, and in disbelief, there I was, fully in control of the FBI system. Checkmate.